Welcome back to our channel, all of you fabulous people. Today we are preparing for the arrival of Hurricane Milton.
Steve actually had to work today, and we will show you a little bit of that situation right after this intro. But Disney was open today on Wednesday, the day of the impact of the hurricane. Of course, that won't be here until later, but Disney had a phased situation going on where there was like a 1 p.m. closure, then a 2 p.m. closure. So Steve just got home a little while ago, and after we show you kind of how our morning and earlier part of the day went, we are going to pick up and show you the rest of this storm coverage. I feel like a newscaster. I don't mind it. But no, all jokes aside, my anxiety is through the roof, and I am terrified. But we are going to take you along for the ride of me just sweating myself until tomorrow.
Today is Wednesday, October 9th, and Milton is on its way, and I am on my way to work. That's right. It is around 9:40 in the morning, and I have to be at work at 10 o'clock this morning to none other than take care of the guests who are staying at Disney. So even though it is still raining pretty hard right now, about 12 hours before the hurricane's supposed to actually be here, Disney is still open and operating like normal. They are doing a phased closing. So Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios will be closing today at 1 p.m. Magic Kingdom and Epcot will be closing today at 2 p.m. Now, do I think there are going to be a bunch of people in the parks or coming to my restaurant to eat today? No, I do not. But for those of them that are, we will be there to take great care of you, just like we would any other day. All right, well, luckily I was able to not have to get my umbrella out for my walk into work. The rain was nice enough to stop for me for a little bit. But yeah, I am heading in now. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm only going to be here for a few hours, but after that I will head home and we will get ready for Milton's arrival this evening.
It is currently 11:55. Steve is at work. We are hoping for him to be home within the next couple of hours, but while he hasn't been here, we have been preparing for days for this. You know, we have been ready. Now the day has come and we're kind of like sitting ducks waiting for the storm. But while he's been gone this morning, I've just been doing some laundry, just cleaning the house a little bit, preparing that if we lose power, everything I would kind of want done prior to that, things that I won't be able to do if power were to be lost. I am making some chicken noodle soup here behind me because that would be easy to heat up on the grill if we needed it. But yeah, we are just anxiously awaiting Dad coming home and the storm's impending arrival. I'm anxious. I'm trying to keep the kids informed and being realistic with them about what potentially could happen here in Central Florida, but also trying to not scare them. Our landlord said that in the past 13 years, we have only lost power once at this house and that they've never had an issue with flooding. We're not in a flood zone. Our elevation's pretty high. We are not near any rivers, lakes, creeks, anything like that. All of the neighborhoods, of course, have retention ponds, but we aren't like within a close proximity to ours. And our house is elevated, like our driveway is at a slope and our backyard is at a slope. And we are just hoping that if we get a lot of rain coming down at once, it all just kind of moves through quickly and does not flood our house. My main concern here in Central Florida are those isolated tornado threats. We are going to experience some winds, and that is a possibility, but we are prepared for the absolute worst. We are prepared to lose electricity for several days, but we are hoping for the best, and we are thinking of everybody who is closer to the Gulf Coast. I just can't imagine what that's like over there and what that's going to be like. It's going to be a rough run for Florida for a little while, but we will all work together to get everything back where it needs to be. Hopefully, that's the one good thing about storms like this and natural disasters. People usually come together and do a pretty good job of helping everybody out and getting things restored. But yeah, to say I am anxious would be an understatement. I haven't slept well for 2 days. I mean, I've been just constantly watching these updates. You know, we don't always get them coming straight across the state like this. The Orlando area a lot of times gets skipped out, but we are going to be within direct impact. It will downgrade a bit while it gets here, but I am prepared, nervous, and ready for it to be over. So right now it is just before 3 p.m. Now this storm is not hitting till when? Later?
It's supposed to be like 8 p.m.?
I don't know. I just have...
It keeps changing.
Yeah, I've seen different times. I've seen like 8 p.m., 11 p.m. Now that's hitting like the coast.
Right.
The Gulf Coast. Somewhere between like Tampa Bay and the Sarasota area. And then, you know, it's going to take a while for it to get over here. But we are going to start seeing those effects ahead of time. We've had some rain prior to that. There have been some isolated tornado threats popping up, none specifically where we are, but some just south of where we are in Polk County.
There was a few that touched down already in Florida.
One near Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, just because of this preceding like rain and stuff coming through. And you know, that's definitely my biggest concern because we don't have to worry about storm surge here. We're not on the coast. We're not going to get the ocean coming up. And like I stated before, we're not in any sort of flood zone. There could be flash flooding, but I would hope that we'd be okay with that since everything should run off. But I would say my main concern would be the winds. You know, we're supposed to be seeing winds around 70 to 90 miles per hour, I think. Potential gusts above 110, which is terrifying. I've heard rumbles of thunder here and there, so it's starting to get a little bit like it's still not really that windy. Like I see the trees moving, but it's not consistent.
The rain's coming down pretty steady.
The rain is steadier now. You know, the overnight is going to be very interesting. I'm anxious to see how long we vlog for because I don't plan on sleeping.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to sleep much tonight, mainly because, I mean, I know you are nervous. I am a little nervous as well, but
you have to stay aware.
I'm excited. I'm weird.
Adrenaline junkie.
This is my first hurricane experience. I mean, we've been in New Jersey for hurricanes, but they never like hit us directly. It was always a little north.
Sandy was the biggest hurricane to hit, and that was on the coast. We weren't on the coast, but we also weren't in the country. Yeah. We were in Mexico.
True.
We got engaged at that time. And we weren't in New Jersey when that happened. So we've had hurricanes in New Jersey come through, but we were pretty far inland. You know, we would get some wind, some rain, things like that. It's typical to what we're experiencing now. Right. Isolated tornado threats. I mean, we would get isolated tornado threats with summer thunderstorms in New Jersey. So it's not anything that we're unaware of, and we know how to like be aware of the environment. But this is we moved here in November of last year, so it's been almost a year since we've been here, and none of the hurricanes have come completely across the state like this yet. And Milton is a monster. I mean, it's not like we're gonna get hit on the coast with a tropical storm category 1. It's supposed to be hitting at a 4, which makes me nervous because originally they were saying 3, and what have I been saying the whole time? I was like, I don't think it's going to be a 3. I think it's going to hit as a 4. I'm decent at watching these things, and I listen to the weathermen, and I see like they're depending on that wind shear to dull it down. And I've been saying the whole time, that doesn't look like a strong enough wind shear to knock it down to a 3. It just seemed like a powerful storm. And we have to remember too that the category doesn't always matter. Katrina was closer to a 3, I think, when it hit, and it was because of it moved slowly and it kind of hovered and flooded. Right. So it's not always the category that is the problem. The storm surge is what's so scary. And one of our weathermen from back home in New Jersey explained this last night, and it made so much sense to me. So I'm going to share it with you guys because they keep saying water is scarier than wind. And I get that with the flooding and stuff like that. But to me, I'm like, the wind is scary too. So he explained how it could downgrade, right? Let's say it's at a 5 in the Gulf, and if it downgrades to a 3, those winds that are coming in and impacting you are going to be Category 3 winds. But the water is already in motion. He said the waves have memory. So with that Category 5 hurricane out in the Gulf, the water is already moving in that direction at Category 5 speed. So even though those winds could dull down and dissipate, the water is already moving as like a category 5, and that's where you get these storm surges that are like category 5 storm surges, even if the wind is not at a category 5. So
Right.
that's where it becomes so scary. I mean, some of those areas are looking at like 10 to 15 foot storm surge. I mean,
That's crazy. I mean, our ceiling is probably only 8 or 9 feet tall.
and like you can't survive that. Like
No.
I wouldn't be able to be in that area. I know some people are staying behind and they don't want to leave. I considered leaving here.
Yeah.
And they send people to where we are to be safer. To me, I'd rather like walk away and just come back to whatever I come back to than be there for it. But you also, like, if you're not in the evac zone, they don't recommend evacuating because the roads have been so congested with people leaving that, like, those people that really are in the most storm's way should be the first ones to get out of here. And if you are clogging up the roads unnecessarily, you're just making it more difficult for everybody, especially with gas running out and things like that.
Right.
So, here in Central Florida, we're never really told to evac. And they do send people more inland to be safer and be away from the coast. But this is going to be a really powerful storm. Definitely the most powerful situation I think we've personally experienced coming from New Jersey and now living down here. I think this is going to be the biggest storm we've ever had to like sit through. So that is my scientific explanation of the current hurricane, and I hope that helps you understand, because I was trying to understand more, like, if it downgrades, how are the surges that bad? How does that happen? And once it was explained to me that way, it was like a light bulb went off, and I really understood the severity of the situation, even if the hurricane starts to slow down a little bit. It's also not like a fast mover.
Right.
And that's where it becomes more dangerous because it's dumping more water down.
And the winds are just going to keep swirling.
Yeah, so that's where it gets a little bit scary. I hope it just decides to pick up speed as it goes across the state and it can slow down all at once over the Atlantic, but, not over the state.
We shall see.
Yeah.
But I am fully prepared. I have even prepared for our vlog.
Mm-hmm.
I set up a camera out front on one of the windows looking directly west. So the front of our house looks west, and the storm is coming west to east. So I'm hoping to be able to record some of the storm with my outdoor camera.
Right.
Hopefully I can get some sound
Yeah.
and see what's happening out front, watching these trees bend sideways or whatever's flying down the street.
I was fully in support of this idea too, because let's say we did have to take shelter, we could at least see what's coming towards us until the camera gets blown off, at least.
Right.
But it would give me a little more peace of mind. We also do have cameras in our house because we, kind of like watch our kids while they're playing and stuff. So if we were to have to hide in this, we have a closet under our staircase, which we'll show you in a little bit. We're going to prepare that to be our little shelter if need be. But if I'm in the closet, I can't just be hiding and not knowing what's going on. So with that out front camera and the two that we have set up down here, we also have one upstairs in Maggie's room, which is the westward side of the house upstairs. So, as long as we can hop onto the Wi-Fi and see the cameras, I think that would give me a little more peace of mind to know what's going on outside here if I did have to hide for a while.
Right. Yeah, so the cameras are on Wi-Fi. So if we do lose power or, that goes out, it doesn't need internet connection.
Right.
But as long as I still have power, we'll still be able to watch those cameras.
Right. So, we are hoping for the best. We are definitely prepared for the worst. It's going to be a big, heavy coffee day tomorrow for sure.
Maybe
some
today.
espresso. But some other things that we did in preparation that we wouldn't normally do, on our shopping list, I added things like instant coffee, paper plates, things that we wouldn't normally use. But, first things first, we're going to be tired and we're going to need coffee. So you have to prepare for that. We have filled up water pitchers in the fridge and in the freezer of fresh, clean drinking water. I also took all the kids' water bottles that we use daily in the parks and everything. I filled all of those up and put them in the fridge just to have some water on the ready. We do have water bottles that are fruit flavored waters, but we would hope to not have to use them.
I have 2 bottles of wine for myself.
Yeah, Steve will be drinking alone. And I also filled up our huge bathtub upstairs. That would not be for drinking water because it just came out of the faucet, but it would be there to, brush our teeth, wash our face, clean up a little bit if we had to. We could actually take it to boil water if we needed
if
to on the grill. But it's good to just have extra water around. Unless they shut off like the water grid, we would still have water. It just wouldn't be hot, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess as long as
We don't have a well.
the pump facility, the city water facility has power, they'll probably still be pumping water.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that would be our first
just
experience.
my assumption.
Right.
As long as they have power for their pumps to run, we still have water.
Right. Our neighbor behind us boarded up his house. We didn't.
It's the only one in the neighborhood,
Yeah,
I feel like, that did, but...
We asked our landlord, should we be boarding up? Do we need sandbags? And she said that they have never needed anything like that before, and she wouldn't want us doing it anyway. She said if that was a concern, she would have done that. They did come today, and they trimmed up we have, 2 trees in our yard that are our responsibility. The trees out back there are not on our property. We have 2 palm trees out front, a little one and a little bit of a taller one that was pretty close to the front of the house.
Had some really big frond leaves that were touching the house.
So she had some people come out today to completely trim that up. We can show you that so that you can see that is not near our house anymore. I mean, really just taking any precautions that you can do ahead of time. All of our outdoor furniture, trash cans, everything's in the garage so that we don't have random things blowing around. We have our 1 car in the garage, our good car. The other car is still out front because other things going in the garage are more important than our 2008 Hyundai Santa Fe. That's outside. But we can show you some of the things that we're doing inside currently to prepare.
I think we'll show you where we're going to set up our little slumber station.
Yeah, we're going to have a hurricane sleepover downstairs just because we do have a 2-story home, and with tornado threats, upstairs is a little scarier than the downstairs. You're safer down here. And I just didn't want to have to if we got a random tornado threat in the middle of the night, I didn't want to have to get the kids all from their rooms and we all come downstairs. We're going to be down here closer to our safe zone and everybody in the same space. And I think that will also help the kids feel a little bit better if we're all together. So let's show you what we are doing inside currently to prepare.
So this is our living room area, and this is where we're going to have our little slumber party today. So there's this half wall that's kind of like a pass-through wall, and down there you'll see the little bag. That's our blow-up beds. So we're going to kind of move these chairs. We're going to set up our bed area right here under this little alcove of the wall, and we're going to sleep down here tonight. We also have all of our lanterns, flashlights, batteries, and candles right here above where we're going to be sleeping. Just in case we do lose power, everything is in one spot and we know exactly where it is.
So this is our little Harry Potter closet under the stairs. I'm saying that because the kids are about to watch Harry Potter. But this is actually a really nice, deep closet, and this would be the safest place in our home to go if we were under a tornado threat because, it's on the lower level. It wouldn't be surrounded by doors or windows anywhere. Plus, they say if you can go under, your steps area. It's a sturdy part of the house. So I was just going to take you guys inside Harry Potter style and show you what we've got going on right now for our tornado shelter. The kids packed a bin of toys and things like that, things that they would want to bring in. They packed some games to keep them busy, some books in case we were in there for a while. But I was just going to stick this in there ready to go. And yeah, Steve will just follow me in our little closet. Frank is already here, checking it out, making sure it's safe and ready to go. Frank would be in the closet too because he is the love of my life. Come on, Frank. So when you walk in, you can stand up right here, but then it has this little part. Oh, I just hit my head. This little part underneath. So we would pretty much bring everybody back into this corner area. We have a blanket in here. We have a little lantern. And this is where we would be camping out if the winds get severe and we feel like we need to take cover. We've been watching our local news. There are tornado threats popping up all around us in Polk County, in Orange County, not in Lake County yet, but we are here and prepared. It said that I think that they just said that the threat is extended until past 5 p.m. So we are just going to keep an eye on the tornado threats. And even if it's not a tornado threat and the winds just get really crazy overnight, and if the kids get scared and they'd rather come in here, we can do that. So Maggie's in here checking it out. What do you think of the little tornado area? Is this cool?
Yeah, well, yeah, this one can see better.
Yeah. It is a light, you're right, but it's a game. Would that keep you busy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people are in here too.
Would you guys feel okay in here if the winds get crazy?
I'm happy.
Yeah?
Because we have toys and stuff.
Yeah. We have stuff to do. And we would be safe.
Sleeping.
Oh, I don't plan on sleeping in here, but only if it gets really wild outside.
We're watching Harry Potter, so it's Harry Potter's room right now. I think it's coming on. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
Harry Potter's coming on, guys. It's time to go. Steve is taking our 3,000-year-old dog, Penny, out. Penny is a very old little Westie there, but we have to get the dogs out as much as possible now because they're not going to want to go out later. But yeah, you can see the breeze starting to pick up, and we were mentioning this tree here. This is our big palm tree, but do you see how they trimmed it up? So there's literally just nothing on that side closest to our house. So that should help with anything knocking up against the top of the house. But how's it feel out here?
Feels interesting. It's not like hot. It's nice, nice and cool. I don't know. It's eerie is the best way I can like explain it, because I know what's about to happen, but it's kind of like that before the storm. So I'm interested to see how loud this wind gets, how these trees are going to be bending sideways, and you know, I might be that guy from the old hurricane video with the American flag out in the middle of the street.
No.
But no, not me.
You're not allowed to be out here during the storm. Listen, to the right that way, there is a retention pond. I am expecting to see gators just zooming down the street like a slip and slide. No, I'm just joking. That's not, well, that could happen. And if it does, we'll show you. I'm terrified of alligators. But you can definitely start to see the trees are beginning to move. But like Steve said, and I've been saying it on Instagram stories all day, I've been doing like live updates on our Instagram stories today, and it's felt eerie here all day. It was awkwardly still for the longest time, and the air felt weird. And now it's just like Steve said, we know what's coming, so it's just weird to be out here, and it's still this calm. Not that this is super calm, but nothing like what we're going to experience in a little while. And then this is our front porch area, and that is where Steve has that camera set up facing west, so we can keep an eye on everything no matter where we are in our home today. It is currently about 3:45, so that dot is showing you like where we are, right, just southwest of Orlando, and then where that hurricane currently is. You can see it. It's gonna move on in on us. So scary to see all that red just like coming at you. Desiree and Steve here reporting for Florida Fabulous News. We're outside.
We're outside. We are going to give you a rain update and Hurricane Milton update.
It's still really early here. It's about 4:45, and you know, we've been saying that this is going to be more of like later this evening, overnight, and into tomorrow morning for us.
Yep.
So we are still not experiencing the worst of it. So we currently do have, like, the rain has picked up a little bit. Nothing crazy, but it is a steady rain, kind of going in like a diagonal direction. And the trees are blowing.
Yeah.
We've had some gusts here and there. Nothing bad. I would say maybe like a 20 to 30 mile per hour gust.
Yeah,
and then
nothing too serious.
So, yeah, I mean, we are still waiting for those heavier winds to come, but we're going to show you what's going on out here in Claremont.
We're starting to get a few gusts coming through. Nothing too crazy. I mean, you could see those trees in the background there. They're moving around a little bit. But I'm waiting to see those trees disappear.
Well, because I have cleaned everything there is to clean, I have done all of the laundry. I have made the dinner, and everyone has eaten the dinner.
Yeah.
And it is only like about 5:15, and we are not going to get the worst of this until like midnight and after, so there's still a lot of time. So chocolate chip cookies it is at the moment to keep me busy and have something to do.
They're about to go into the oven.
Later, maybe it'll be sheet pan nachos. I also realized when we ate dinner that was the first time I had eaten today.
Oh, very good.
I spent all morning while you were working being anxious and stressed out and doing a bunch of stuff around the house.
Okay.
That I was like, when I sat down and ate, I was like, this is my first meal.
Well, how was it? It was good?
The soup was great.
The soup was delicious.
So sheet pan nachos later would be fine because that would be like dinner. You know, figure I just had lunch, then I can have dinner later. But yeah, these are going to go in. The kids are watching Harry Potter. We had the news on, and now it's buffering, but there was like a
2 mile wide tornado
down near like St. Lucie area. And now it just shut off, and that scares me because I would like to know what's going on with that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these tornadoes we're noticing, they did say that they would happen east of I-4. We are west of I-4, and that seems to be pretty accurate from what we're seeing. Right. I mean, this hurricane hasn't even hit the coast yet. This is all the rain and everything that was coming prior.
It's still about 50 to 60 miles off the coast.
Yeah, this is all just prior.
We still have a long ways to go.
Rain and everything. What was happening was, you know, the storm is coming west to east, and that front is coming west to east, but you also have like wind coming off the east coast. And that is colliding and creating those rotations over in that area. We are clear so far. We haven't had the tornado warning here, but there are, I mean, it's been constant all evening. We're watching these tornado warnings in other counties and other areas, and it's very scary. A 2 mile wide, this is like some Twister, you know, type of stuff. Like I picture cows flying. You know, it's terrifying. Extremely afraid of tornadoes ever since the movie Twister came out. It's been one of my biggest fears. You remember in Universal, they used to have that Twister experience where you would stand behind the railing and then the tornado would pretty much come by, a cow would fly by and stuff. They don't have that anymore, but I would be terrified when I would go in there because I don't like that. Even that tornado in Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
You gotta wrap up because I'm gonna put these cookies in the oven.
Yeah.
And then we can figure out what our next fun activity is.
Okay.
Well, the cookies have come out. They look amazing. They are cooling right now. I cannot wait to eat one. The kids are having a heart attack waiting for these to cool. And I also made 2 other cookies. These are for me and Desiree. It's hurricane cookie time. So I'm ready for the hurricane. My hair is ready. This is my hurricane hair, and we have our hurricane cookies. So I made these special just for us. The kids got like normal size cookies. I used the last of the dough to make big cookies, and I don't know. I want to see how they taste. I haven't tried one yet.
We have to review them?
I've been waiting for you to get off the phone so that I could.
I was talking to my mom.
All right, well, let's go. Oh, man.
It's a great cookie.
Mm-hmm.
The texture is perfect. It has like a little crunch on the bottom, but it's nice and soft on the inside.
Yeah.
And the flavor is great. It's sweet, but not too sweet. I kind of want milk.
Need to get a glass of milk.
I mean, these would be like really, really great dipped in some milk.
They are. So super chewy. I love them.
You know what they're gonna taste like? Remember the Dunkers from Trader Joe's?
The Dunkers?
Other people will know what I'm talking about, but Trader Joe's has a big clear container of the chocolate chip cookies that are shaped like that.
Yeah, I remember those.
That you dunk in.
Those are crunchy though.
They're crunchy. The flavor.
Okay.
It tastes very much like the Dunkers from Trader Joe's.
Well, this was just the recipe off the bag of chocolate chips.
The Nestle Toulaus.
Yes, it's
What's
very
that from?
fancy. Friends.
We weren't supposed to give it away. It's Phoebe's aunt's recipe. It's very special.
It's a secret. Well, anyway, the cookies were a success. It took us, it took up some time. It took away some of your anxieties. Only about an hour of time.
Not even. We started these after 5 o'clock and it's now 6.
All right, so, yeah.
Only 6 more hours until the worst of it comes.
Well, we're still waiting around. We're going to give you an update on, like, how much rain we've gotten so far.
Oh, yeah.
Because so far, it's been a lot more than we've expected.
So we're in the area that could see 12 plus inches of rain. I highly think that is going to be accurate. Now, like I said, we're not in a flood zone. We should be okay, but we've been we lowered our pool and we've been judging how much rain we've got on the pool, which you can show. But the worst of it is not here yet. This is just all the pre-rain. So I imagine that actually Noah on Fox 35 said Claremont was going to be about 7.7 inches. I think here we're going to surpass that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're almost nearing that amount.
We're getting close.
Already. So unless the rain decides to lighten up, which I don't see that happening. Because they are saying with the north side is going to get the most rain. That's why we are in that flood area.
Sorry, I just got a bite of the dead center of the cookie.
The center's really good.
So good.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to get more than the projected 7 inches for Claremont. We're in that area that it could be 12 and up.
Yeah.
In certain areas of our, big location here that they're predicting the most rain to fall, we are going to be in a higher amount than the 7 inches for sure. Steve is getting real Florida on us now. The hurricane is getting closer, and he just couldn't help himself.
I had to change into my hurricane hat.
This is our 7 p.m. update.
Steve and Desiree reporting live from Claremont, Florida.
The rain has settled down a little bit. So as this hurricane makes landfall and the eye starts to hit in the rotation, it's going to start going like this. Now, we're going to be very close to the eye.
Yeah. It's changed its course a little bit, and they said it's supposed to be going right over Orlando.
Yeah, we're very close to where this possible potential eye could be. But as the hurricane goes like this, what's happening down here is going to be a little bit of a dry area, and that's kind of what we're in right now because the rain has subsided a little bit, but those gusts are starting to pick up. Our pool is getting pretty full too.
It is.
But yeah, we wanted to show you these gusts, but as we're out here, we're seeing how quickly these clouds are moving. I see a crane flying. I feel like that's not
safe,
the best
buddy.
decision, my friend. But we're gonna spin it around and just show you how quickly these clouds are just going across the sky. It's really crazy to watch. All right, so Steve has it spun around now, so you can see those clouds moving from right to left very quickly.
Up here in this area.
Yeah, where the clouds are, Right?
Yeah, where the clouds are. That's right.
But you can also see the trees are pretty much moving steadily now. They're never really still. And then we'll get these gusts. Steve said maybe 40 miles per hour. I don't think so yet. I think maybe more like 30.
I was standing in them on the gusts, and it did not feel like much.
Rusty's ears were flapping in the wind. It was so cute. And
I compare it to like riding on a motorcycle. Like I've ridden on a motorcycle. I've done 120 miles an hour, so I know what that pressure would feel like on your body.
Here comes a gust right now. And the wind is cool.
Yeah,
it's a very cool wind. That was the one thing with this hurricane. It's going to bring us some cooler temperatures. They were saying it would make the highs closer to 80s, lows possibly in the 60s in the next couple of days. The only good thing about that is if people lose power, at least overnight, we will be in the 60s and maybe get some relief. So this is just about a 9 p.m. update. We still have electricity, so I went ahead and took advantage of the fact that I could shower for the evening. I'm in my pajamas. Yeah. I don't imagine
look at you. Your nightie.
I don't imagine I will get much sleep, but I am ready for sleep if that happens. So right now, the worst of it, the eye area and everything is making impact right on the coast. Yep. So all of our friends over near the Gulf Coast are getting hammered, and that will be us in the next few hours. Yeah. So 9 p.m.-ish landfall over there, and closer to midnight is when it's going to
be around Orlando.
Be worse for us. Yep. The winds and the rain, and they're saying we're going to have winds until about noon tomorrow.
Yeah, because we're going to catch those winds on that swirl on that tail end. So it's going to be pretty high winds up until they said maybe noon.
Yeah, so we will keep you updated throughout the night here for as long as we feel like it, and then we can also check in the morning and let you know.
I'm sure we will be up early.
Yeah, and just that way we can let you guys know if we kept power, if we lost power, what things are looking like in the morning, because in those early morning hours up until noon, we're still going to be experiencing some of these effects.
Right, and it'll be daylight, so with those high winds, we might be able to see more.
I don't like this right now. I don't like that the worst of it is hitting us overnight, because it's harder to see what's going on. As soon as it started to get dark, I was like, okay, I don't like this now, because I feel like I'm not aware. I can't see the trees as much. I can't see what's coming down. But we can show you a little bit of what's going on. It's still just like a steady rain.
It hasn't changed much from like what we've been showing
The
you.
gusts feel like they're getting a little bit stronger. Now I had to go upstairs to take a shower, and it's much louder upstairs. The wind and the rain. It's so quiet downstairs.
Well, you have the whole upstairs to buffer that noise.
Compared to, downstairs is so quiet compared to the upstairs. I was showering and I was like, okay, let's make this quick because it was a little scary up there. I'm glad that the kids are downstairs.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be able to sleep as well with that noise.
They're asleep in their little
nook
that we made with our blow-up beds, and we put ours right next to it. But yeah, I think we're going to go inside, maybe get a little snack.
Yeah, we're going to be up for a while.
Yeah,
a snack and hydrating is important.
See how the rest of this night goes.
Yeah.
All right, well, we are outside, and it is just after 10 o'clock, and the winds are really starting to pick up. We have our little palm tree out here. That is our wind indicator, along with all the sound that is going along with it. All right, well, it was about a little after 3 in the morning. I was able to doze off a few times, but we kept getting woken up by sounds like a screen door that was slamming out back. It wasn't ours. It might be one of the other neighbors' screen doors, but it was really loud, and it's happening quite often. Oh, there's a good gust. Wow. It's getting crazy out here now. The wind has really, really picked up as like a sustained wind, and then, whoa, those gusts that are coming through. They are getting crazy. All right, so we are currently outside. It's really windy. We're getting some strong gusts coming by. You can see the palm tree behind me is really going. Oh wow, that's actually moving me around a little bit. That's crazy. I'm gonna head back inside now. Well, good morning. It is 10 a.m. the day after Milton has passed through.
Yeah.
And we made it.
Yeah, we actually made out quite well. Those winds really picked up between like 2 and 4 in the morning.
Yeah, they got pretty crazy.
I was laying like right there looking out these windows and watching this little palm tree that we have, and there was times I couldn't see it because it was like
bent over so far,
and then I would see it spring back up. There was quite a few times I thought it was a goner, but we didn't lose power.
Nope.
At all.
Flooding.
No flooding at all. We did lose a shutter, but we have the shutter, so that can easily be put back up. And we lost one section of lanai screen.
Yep.
And that is it. Looking throughout our neighborhood, it doesn't look like anybody right where we are in Claremont got much damage. We are in a better zone here.
Yeah. I mean, our
as far
street,
as that goes.
I don't see any trees down. I don't see anybody's houses damaged.
You said the water was running down the streets, but the way our streets are made, the street is a little higher, the houses are even higher, and then on the edges it has like the runoff. A
little gully, yeah.
And that was kind of like rushing.
There was about a foot of water in there, like flowing down the street through like the busiest, or not the busiest, the heaviest time of the rain. But then once that stopped, it kind of just disappeared, and it was all wind. Yeah. And you saw some of the videos that with me outside in the heavy winds where it was like really blowing me around. But I mean, after that, what do you say, like 4 or 5 a.m. they started to die off? Yeah,
I didn't sleep the whole night because of the winds. I finally was able to fall asleep what I think was around 5 a.m. because that's when it started to get a little more quiet. And then it was an on and off sleep until about 7 a.m. and then the kids were up and we were up. So today is going to just be a day of like getting everything back in order in the house. We can get rid of some of our hurricane prep and put some things back where they belong.
Put the blow-up beds away. We're probably going to clean the floors.
I have all those pitchers of water that I don't... But, it's better to be safe than sorry. And I do know several people that live here in all different areas. And everybody that I know made out okay. Yeah. Everybody that I know has electricity.
There was some people that I worked with that lost electricity. I've seen like people posting on Facebook, some of them still without electricity. Little bit of flooding, but nobody is like put out of their homes, thankfully. So, I mean, I feel like in our area, everyone is okay.
Yeah.
You know, I still, my heart goes out to all those people on the coast and wherever, they got any kind of damage.
I have family over there. They're all okay.
Yeah.
Everybody that we know that is in that direction, they're all fine. Some of them still have electricity. So, I think that people were definitely prepared.
Yep.
And the people that were in those evacuation zones got out. The people that weren't in the evacuation zones stayed, and they made it out okay. So, I think the meteorologists and everybody, they all made the right calls.
They did a great job.
They did a really great job handling this. And I think it's potentially because it kind of piggybacked off of Helene, and
Right.
everybody was heightened and being cautious because we just had a hurricane come
Right.
through, and this looked really, really bad, and it was. But we are lucky that it did begin to downgrade
Right.
quickly once it hit the coast, and then once it hit us, I would say it was probably about a Cat 1.
Yeah. But I do want to say, there are people out there that are going to need help.
Yes.
There are disaster relief efforts in place. There are people doing rescues.
There, even I noticed Luna's theater that she does theater
like a shelter there.
at a community center. They posted that they will take volunteers just to help get items to people that need them, like as
Gotcha.
far as food and things like that. So, if you are around and you're looking to help, there are plenty of organizations and local communities that will gladly take the help.
Yeah. Even if you're not, there are places that you can donate.
Yeah.
I'll leave a link in the comments below of somewhere that you can, go online and you can donate to help the relief efforts for people that really need it.
Yeah, Florida is still fabulous.
It's still fabulous.
We are not going to let any hurricane take the fabulousness away from this wonderful state. But it was kind of fun making this video. I know that's going to sound weird, but I think it helped distract me. It helped my anxiety. So we appreciate you guys for coming along for the ride with us, because I think if I wasn't doing this and I was just sitting around, it would have been worse and it would have seemed more like impending doom.
Yeah.
And I think that having this vlog that we were making helped just, put my mind in a different place at the time. And it helped keep me a little more calm than I was feeling earlier in the day when you were at work.
Yeah.
So we thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is different, but we also just wanted to give you guys the reality of what we experience living here, because Florida is wonderful, but we do get storms, and sometimes your vacation will be impacted, and there's nothing that you can really do about it. And we're thankful that Disney closed and you're not at work today, and that you were able to get home safely yesterday in time to, be with your family.
And Disney will reopen on Friday.
Yeah. And they're good at getting everything back in order, and they're great at taking care of all the guests that are staying there. So they do a wonderful job in times like this. So thanks, guys, for watching. And as always,
Stay fabulous.
All I want